أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Continuing the lectures in Surat Al Dukhan, and today we read ayah 36 and 37. Now we start from the beginning of the surah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حميم والكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه في ليلة مباركة إنا كنا منذرين فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم أمرا من عندنا إنا كنا مرسلين رحمة من ربك إنه هو السميع العليم رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين لا إله إلا هو يحيي ويميت ربكم ورب آبائكم الأولين بل هم في شك يلعبون فارتقب يوم تأتي السماء بدخان مبين يغشى الناس هذا عذاب أليم ربنا اكشف عنا العذاب إنا مؤمنون أنى لهم الذكرى وقد جاءهم رسول مبين ثم تولوا عنه وقالوا معلم مجنون إنا كاشف العذاب قليلا إنكم عائدون يوم نبطش البطشة الكبرى إنا منتقمون ولقد فتنا قبلهم قوم فرعون وجاءهم رسول كريم أن أدوا إلي عباد الله إني لكم رسول أمين وأن لا تعلوا على الله إني آتيكم بسلطان مبين وإني عذت بربي وربكم أن ترجمون وإن لم تؤمنوا لي فاعتزلون فدعا ربه أن هؤلاء قوم مجرمون فأسر بعبادي ليلا إنكم متبعون واترك البحر رهوا إنهم جند مغرقون كم تركوا من جنات وعيون وزروع ومقام كريم ونعمة كانوا فيها فاكهين كذلك وأورثناها قوما آخرين فما بكت عليهم السماء والأرض وما كانوا منظرين ولقد نجينا بني إسرائيل من العذاب المهين من فرعون إنه كان عاليا من المسرفين ولقد اخترناهم على علم على العالمين وآتيناهم من الآيات ما فيه بلاء مبين إن هؤلاء ليقولون إن هي إلا موتتنا الأولى وما نحن بمنشرين فأتوا بآبائنا إن كنتم صادقين أهم خير أم قوم تبع والذين من قبلهم أهلكناهم إنهم كانوا مجرمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم النبيين والمرسلين محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين ومن استنى سنتهم واهتدى بهديهم وتبعهم بخير وإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Continuing the story of Musa alayhi salam, after he did this favor to the two girls in his way to Madian, one of the two girls, not both of them, one of them, she came. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surat Al-Qasas, فَجَاءَتْهُ إِحْدَاهُمَا تَمْشِي عَلَى اسْتِحْيَاءٍ. One of the two girls came to him walking in a shy way. She was shy because this is a strange man. So she was shy, and this is how the Muslim girl should be. She should not just go and approach the man and look directly in his eyes and talk and laugh or talk like she's talking to a girl. No, a Muslim woman or a Muslim girl should be shy. This is called haya of Islam. And if there is no haya, it means there is no deen. Especially both for men and for women. Especially for women. The women should have more haya than men. So she came to him. She told him that my father is inviting you to come to us, and he wanted to thank you himself. So he accepted, and this was the answer or the acceptance of his dua, that he made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, قال رب إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. Ya Allah, I am waiting for what you prepared for me from khair. He was sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him some khair, some way out from the hardship that he is in. And he did not know the way, so he asked the girl to walk at the front of him to show him the way. When she was walking, it was windy, and the girl was properly dressed. She was wearing abaya with loose clothes, but because of the wind, you know that when you are wearing abaya and a wind comes, then the wind can shape your body from one side, when the side that is facing the wind. And he had to look at her to see which way, but he did not want to see this scene. Her body is shaped at the front of him just by the wind. She was not naked, but just the wind shaping her body. He didn't want to see this, because he also had haya as a Muslim man. So he told her to walk behind him, and the way that to show him the way, because he doesn't know the way, he told, I will walk at the front of you. If you want me to turn right or turn left, throw a stone at the front of me to the right or to the left, so that I know that I need to turn right or left. Because she could not say this to him because of the voice of the wind. So this is how a Muslim young man apply the Islamic haya, and the Muslim young woman apply the Islamic haya. Musa alayhi salam, he was brought up in a very religious family, in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave wahi to his mother, and he himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, was preparing him for the message. And this girl, she was a daughter of a prophet. This is how a Muslim man and a Muslim woman should behave, not to follow the feminist or the Western culture. This if we follow, we lose dunya and akhirah. When he arrived to the house of Shu'aib alayhi salam, he asked him, of course he thanked him, and he offered him food and everything. He was a generous host, and he asked him that he is not from here. Why did he come here? So he told him the whole story, and what happened in Egypt, and the man that he killed by mistake, and how he traveled, he moved from Egypt because of being afraid of the soldiers of Fir'aun. Then after he told him the story, he told him, Shu'aib alayhi salam told him, لا تخف, don't be afraid, نجوت من القوم الظالمين, you are saved from the bad people, because they don't have authority here. So it seems that this was like in the edge of Egypt. It's not mentioned in the tafsir whether this place was officially part of Egypt or not, but the Egyptian soldiers or army, they do not reach this place. Then one of the girls, she told her father, يا أبت استأجره, my father, why don't you ask him to work for you? Because he is honest, he is a polite man, and he is also strong. So they don't need every time to go and wait for the other shippers to leave, and if they will notice them or not. They don't want to be put in that situation every time they go. So he will help them, and at the same time he is a person that they can trust, because this is what they have seen from his manners in the conversations that they had with him. Then Shu'aib alayhi salam, he gave the offer to Musa alayhi salam. He told him, I want you to work for me 8 or 10 years, and I will give you one of my daughters to marry. I want you to marry one of my daughters. For 8 years you work for me, or 10 years you work for me. So Shu'aib alayhi salam was thinking also about his own daughters. He wanted a good husband for each of them. And Musa alayhi salam accepted. And he started working for Shu'aib alayhi salam, and he completed 10 years working for Shu'aib alayhi salam. So this was a long time that he stayed away from Egypt, until his case in Egypt was forgotten, almost forgotten. So no one was looking for him. Since this was very long time, he decided after the 10 years that he go back to Egypt, because his family is there, his mother and siblings are there, and his father. So he wanted to go back to Egypt. And he took his wife, and they traveled back to Egypt. In his way, he got the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In his way, he passed by the mountain of At-Tur in Sinai, and he saw a fire under the mountain, and he told his wife, I will go and pick some fire from there. He thought that there are some people who are sitting around who made this fire. So he said he will go and get some fire so that we can use it for cooking and also to get some heat in this cold weather. It was in the night. When he arrived, he found that the fire is coming just from between the stones, and there is no wood in there. And he heard the voice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, Ya Musa, inni ana Allahu Rabbul Alameen. I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And Musa alayhi salam was the only prophet whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started the message himself to him. All other prophets, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the message through Jibreel alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam was the only one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him the message himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately told him what to do. Throw your stick. Musa alayhi salam was working as a shipper. All of these 10 years, he was working as a shipper. So when he left, he took also some sheep with him. And he was always carrying a stick. This is how a shipper works. He threw the stick and it became at once a snake, a big snake. And Musa alayhi salam, when he saw it like this, he ran away. He was afraid of the snake. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him the same voice again. Don't be afraid, take it, catch that snake. It will return a stick again. So he caught the snake and it became a stick in his hand again. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, put your hands in your pocket. It will become white and shining, but don't be afraid. You are not sick or anything. So he did this and he saw how his hands become white and shining. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, these are two ayat, two miracles to the people of Fir'aun. Go to the people of Fir'aun. Go to the people of Fir'aun and give him the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Musa alayhi salam, he was still afraid. He understand that this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking to him, but he said then, Rabbi, Ya Allah, inni qataltu minhum nafsan. I killed one man. فَأَخَافُ أَن يَقْتُلُونَ. I am afraid that they will kill me. If I go there and then show myself to the people of Fir'aun, they will remember what I have done before. And maybe they will execute me. And my tongue is not, I cannot speak well with my tongue. And this because an incident that happened when Musa alayhi salam was an infant. Musa alayhi salam, when he was an infant and was with Fir'aun and his wife Asya, Musa alayhi salam was very strong. So even when he was an infant, he was very strong also. So Fir'aun was catching Musa alayhi salam like this, the child, and Musa alayhi salam slapped him on his face. And this was very hard. It was very painful. It was like a man slapping Fir'aun. And he got very angry. And then he said, kill that child. His wife told him, how? He's an infant. He said, no, this is not an infant. This is a monster. Kill him right now. And she said, how you kill him? This is an innocent child. And he was insisting. So the only way she found, she told him, I will prove to you that he's a child. She ordered to bring a plate with two things, one red date and one red piece of coal that is in fire. And she said, I will put both of them at the front of Musa and let's see what he will pick. So the date was red and the other piece of fire was red, but the piece of fire was more shining. So he took that piece of fire and put it on his mouth because he was a child. He didn't know that it is fire. And of course, when he felt the burning, he threw it and started crying and screaming, and his tongue got burnt. From that time, his tongue was injured, and there are some letters that he could not pronounce. So he told Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are some letters that I cannot pronounce, so maybe they will not get the clear message from me. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to support him with his brother Harun, so that they go together, not Musa alayhi salam alone. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, yes, we will support you with your brother. Both of you go to the people of Fir'aun, and talk to him nicely. Talk to him nicely. Even with Fir'aun, the one who was saying that I am your supreme God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa alayhi salam and to go with his brother and talk nicely with Fir'aun. فَقُولَ لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا Surat Al-Shu'ara. Talk to him in a nice way. لَعَلَّهُ يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى. Maybe he will remember or fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is Surah Taha, sorry, not Surah Al-Shu'ara. فَقُولَ لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا لَعَلَّهُ يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى. So this is the way of da'wah with everyone. When someone is making da'wah, to talk nicely, because this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created humans. When you give them da'wah, if you give da'wah in a tough way, they will be against you. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you have the truth or not. It doesn't matter if you are inviting them to the right or to the wrong. Humans are not like animals. Animals, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us control over some animals, like cows, like sheep, like chickens. These things, they are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us control over, like camels. They are some of these animals are very strong, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them to follow us. So even if you hit the camel, and the camel can kill 100 people but in 1 second, but you can see a man hitting the camel and the camel is not reacting, just following. Humans are not like this. You have to talk nicely for them to listen to you. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told this to Musa alayhi salam. Most of the people who accepted Islam, I know hundreds of people who accepted Islam personally, and also heard their stories. More than 90% of them, they accepted Islam not because they were convinced that Islam is the truth. Most of them, they accepted Islam because of the manners of Muslims. Of course, after this, they realized that Islam is the truth, but the main reason was not because Islam is the truth, but the manners of Muslims. This may be surprising to some of you, but this is the truth. including my mother, Karima, who breastfeed me. She became Muslim because of this. She became Muslim because the students at UCLA University, where she was studying, the students from Libya, she have seen how they had very good manners and they had good haya. They were very polite. She was a girl. They were treating her with haya of Islam, and she liked their manners. And this was the main reason why she became Muslim. Afterwards, when she started studying about Islam, she understood that Islam is the truth because of the logic, etc. And her mother, she was against her for so many years. But when her mother started becoming sick and need assistance, needed someone to feed her and someone to take her to the toilet, she was the one among all of her siblings. She was the one who decided to take care of full care of her mother for several years. And for all of these years, she never asked her mother to be a Muslim. Only after so many years, when she felt that her mother is getting, her case is getting worse and she may die soon, she asked her mother to be a Muslim. And her mother accepted because she was kind to her. She was very kind to her. She was serving her for so many years. And her mother died 2 weeks after saying the Shahada. So this is an important lesson by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he told Musa alayhi salam to say this to Fir'aun, to talk to Fir'aun in this way, talk to him in a nice way. When we make da'wah to people, we have to talk to them in a very nice way. فَقُولَ لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا لَعَلَّهُ يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى. So Musa alayhi salam, he got this message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and continued the way to his way to Egypt. And when he arrived, he went directly to his family, his brother Harun and his mother, and his siblings. And he told Harun alayhi salam about the message. He told Harun alayhi salam about the message. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made both of them prophets. Musa alayhi salam is a prophet and messenger, and Harun alayhi salam is a prophet also. And Harun alayhi salam was older than Musa alayhi salam. And then he told him, we go directly to Fir'aun. Musa alayhi salam never postponed an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they decided to go directly to Fir'aun. And when they arrived, Fir'aun recognized Musa. They asked to meet Fir'aun. And they entered, and Fir'aun recognized Musa. And then Musa alayhi salam, he started giving the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. Told him that he is a messenger from Allah, and he told him, you have a God other than me? He said, yes. He said, who is he? He said, the one who created everyone and created everyone here, and the one who guided us all on how to speak, how to behave, how to eat, how to build these buildings, the one who gave us everything. Then Fir'aun told him, what about the previous generation, our ancestors? He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows better about them, but he is the one who created them as well. He is the one who created the earth for us and give us rizq and give us all of this food. This river, the Nile that you have, he is the one who gave this river to us. And he is the one who gave us all of these crops and and all of this food. Egypt was a very rich country, a lot of food and a lot of wealth. Then he told Musa alayhi salam, if you worship someone other than me, I will put you in jail. So Musa alayhi salam told him, what about if I give you a proof that I'm a messenger from Allah? He said, okay, if you have a proof, show it to us. So Musa alayhi salam threw the stick on the ground and it became a big snake. Fir'aun was sitting on his throne. When he saw this big snake, he returned back and the chair fall with Fir'aun and he fall on the ground with the chair, with the throne, because of being frightened. And then he stood up and he said, okay, Musa, stop it. And then Musa alayhi salam took the stick and it became stick again. And then Musa alayhi salam put his hand on his pocket and took his hand and it was white and shining. And then they were terrified also. And Fir'aun said, Musa, stop it. And Musa alayhi salam put his hand again in his pocket, and then his hands became normal. Then Fir'aun said, Musa, leave now. And Musa alayhi salam and Harun, they left. And Fir'aun started discussing with his with his people about what they should do with Musa alayhi salam and Harun. And they were convinced, all of his council, they were convinced that this is sihr. But they said that it is very strong sihr. We have never seen a sihr like this. And they said people will hear about this, and we don't want Musa to make fitna among people. So we have a lot of magicians in Egypt. They proposed to Fir'aun to call all magicians or all professional magicians in Egypt and make a competition between them and Fir'aun. So after they decided, Fir'aun called Musa next day, asked him to come again. Then Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam, they came. And then Fir'aun told Musa, what do you want with your message? What do you want? Then he told him the ayat in Surat Al Dukhan, ayah number 18 and ayah number 19. And addu ilayya ibadallah. Inni lakum rasulun ameen. Two things. You to believe in Allah and to send with me the people of Bani Israel. وَأَلَّا تَعْلُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنِّي آتِيكُمْ بِسُلْطَانٍ مُبِينٍ. You have seen the miracles that I showed you. So don't be too arrogant to accept this message from Allah. وَإِنِّي عُذْتُ بِرَبِّي وَرَبِّكُمْ أَن تَرْجُمُونَ. And I ask Allah protection against you if you decided to give me any harm or to insult me. وَإِن لَمْ تُؤْمِنُوا لِي فَاعْتَزِلُونَ. Ayah number 21. If you don't want to believe with me, okay, leave me alone and let me go with the people of Bani Israel. If you want to believe with me, you will get the best in dunya and akhirah. If you don't want, then leave me alone. Leave with the people of Bani Israel. Then Fir'aun told, now you want me to give you all my slaves, and you are a criminal, you are a murderer. You remember the crime that you have committed. You killed a man. and now you are pretending to be a prophet, to be a messenger from God. You are a criminal. Then Musa alayhi salam said, I did this not in purpose, and you know that. Fir'aun, he knew that Musa alayhi salam was very strong because he experienced this when he was an infant. You know that it was not in purpose. And I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness for killing this man. Then Fir'aun said, you cannot cheat us with this sihr. This is sihr. But you came to our area of knowledge. If you are one magician, we will bring to you a lot of other magicians. Name one day when we will make a competition between you and the magicians, so that all people will know that you are just a magician and you are not a messenger from God. Then Musa alayhi salam told them about Yawm al-Zina. Yawm al-Zina is the day of the national day of Egypt, which is the day when Fir'aun was started his time as a king, and they accepted this day. And this was the time when Musa alayhi salam met the other magicians from Egypt. We continue next time, inshallah. Any questions? In Sunday, inshallah, there will be dars about inheritance in Islam, about al-mawarith in Islam. So it will be the same program from 2 to 2:30, Quran for sisters, and from 2:30 we will describe about inheritance in Islam, starting from the time of wasiyah, when a Muslim is sick or very old and afraid of death, what to do about the wasiyah, the will, and then after death, how the wealth should be divided based on the Islamic rules. We make dua, inshallah. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل على محمد في الأولين، صل على محمد في الآخرين، صل على محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا، ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا على من عادانا، ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا، ولا مبلغ علمنا، ولا منتهى أملنا، ولا تسلط علينا من لا يرحمنا. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين، وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين، واكشف الهم والغم والكرب عنا وعن المسلمين. اللهم اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك، وأغننا بفضلك عمن سواك، ولا تحوجنا ولا تذلنا إلا إليك. ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان، ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا، وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. وصل اللهم على محمد وآله وصحابته وتابعيه بخير وإحسان إلى يوم الدين. آمين.